Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I am your host, Sonny Kruger, and as usual, joining me is my co-host, Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Codex Podcast. We have got an awesome show lined up for you today. I hope you got your fiber in because someone didn't. And yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, or maybe they had too much of it. But
Maybe. I don't know.
quite a bit of- okay, but I do get my fiber in. I use powder for fiber every day. Yeah, we don't need to get too much into that. There was a
Right.
reason I missed one episode today. Oh no, not today. I missed one episode this year in 2023. It kind of had to do with that stuff. But we're getting, but that's the past. We're on to the now, and yeah, like I said, we will definitely be focusing and doing a lot of talking about New York Comic Con, which
Mhm.
just took place a few days ago. We have some other quite a bit of news going on, some stuff with Daredevil. We had an unfortunate passing in the comic book industry, and as usual, Rob Liefeld is pretty much going against everybody, other comic creators, fans, everything like that. We got quite a bit to talk a little bit about how it works. And, we had a special show yesterday, the
Mhm.
1,000 subscriber giveaway. We'll get more. We'll do a little more chatting about that later, and to finish things up, we will have another member join the F list, and his
Yeah.
name is Fat Man.
Oh my God. Do we want to do a preview or no?
We might as well. Let's
Okay.
see this guy who people might want to be for Halloween. Well, that one doesn't look so hard. He doesn't look so bad there.
He
He
just
looks
looks
more
like a
regular.
regular guy.
Yeah. What about the other one?
This one.
There we go. There's Fat Man. He will be joining the F list
Oh my
later
God.
today.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Earlier we had a fun pre-show. We were talking, chatting it up about some things about how we're excited about for Halloween,
Mhm.
and we were pretty much getting everybody ready for what's going to be on today's schedule for this episode. But now I think it is time that we start off with the comic book news / the rundown. Okay, let's do the rundown very quickly because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
First things first, Rob Liefeld was going against pretty much everybody, first comparing himself in his prices to Jim Lee, and then there was a whole thing on Facebook where people were trashing him, and he was responding to about 50% of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll start us off with that bit of funny news. But there was an unfortunate passing, and that was that Keith Giffen passed away at the age of 70. And quickly, we'll do a little more chatting about that. But he was the creator. He made many legendary characters like Lobo, Rocket Raccoon, even Ambush Bug. He made the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle, and he made Maxwell Lord. So he passed away on October 9th. We'll do a little more talking about that. But I wanted to mention it quickly right now. That rest in peace, Keith
Mhm.
Giffen. We got some other news, quite a bit of Daredevil news,
Yeah.
and that I know this one's going to get our very own Dan Kelly really excited, and that is that Daredevil: The Black Armor is returning. There would be a series where Daredevil is once again sporting that black armor, and then speaking of Daredevil, Marvel has fired the writers of the Daredevil Born Again series. So right after the writer's strike, look at that, their strike ends, and then the writers get fired. They want to go. They said they want to go in a new create. They want to do a creative reboot for the
Mhm.
series since it'll be on Netflix. No, it's no
Disney.
longer on Netflix since it's going to Disney Plus.
Yep.
Also, we might remember that 35 years ago there was one of the biggest deaths in comic books, and that was when Jason Todd was killed by the Joker.
Mhm.
But there was an alternate version written, where you could see there was obviously he died, but it was written where he could also live. And now there will be a comic book coming out, a facsimile version where you can check out what had happened if he lived.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then also speaking of Disney Plus and how we were talking about the Marvel writers, or the Marvel had fired the writers of the Daredevil Born Again show. There is set to be a Gargoyles live action reboot that will be on Disney Plus, but that is still going to take a little while. And that one quickly, that it will be written. They're saying that the writer and the producer, the showrunner, is set to be Gary Duberman, and he has written. He's known for writing The Nun 1 and 2, and he was
Ooh,
one of the co-writers of the new It movie. So with that, I'm guessing it's going to have a little more of a horror feel
that's
to it.
cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all the news we have on that. And then there was New York Comic Con 2023. Tim, do you feel we should focus on the other stuff first and then get on to New York Comic Con?
So, what
Quickly.
do we want to talk about quickly so we can talk about Rob Liefeld and how much of a jerk he is?
Let's jump on that one first.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's jump on that one first.
So, to give a little bit of context, a while ago, somebody in a Facebook group, I believe it was Comic Book Collecting. Sonny, you've got screenshots, so you'll know better than I will. But I'm pretty confident it was Comic Book Collecting on Facebook. If you're not in there, you need to. It's a good community. It's no comic character of the day, I'll tell you that. But it's second. It's kind of cool. It's worth going into. Check
I
it out.
wasn't a part of it until you sent what happened, and then I joined and I said, okay, now it's worth it.
So somebody a while ago had posted a screenshot of or posted a picture of Rob Liefeld's price list, his pricing tiers for what he was doing at New York Comic Con, and the pricing was high. Like and rightly so in that respect, right? Because scalpers will come in and they will hand a stack of books, and some of these artists only charge $20-$25 less than that, and then the scalpers will turn around and resell for an exorbitant amount or whatever the case may be. So pricing that high kind of beats that a little bit, but it makes everybody else mad. So anything Deadpool or Cable related, I think, was $85 just for a signature. If you wanted a remark on it, it cost more. If you were having it CGC witnessed, it cost even more. If you wanted just a regular signature, that was a specific amount. If you wanted the Liefeld style signature that he puts on all his masterpieces, that cost more, and so on and so forth. And people were upset, rightly so. Fast forward yesterday or 2 days ago, Rob Liefeld decided to go into that group and try and defend himself, and it turned into a disaster. So,
Oh,
Son,
I did.
you can give more information, and then I'll add my opinion in a second.
All right, yeah. So, like I said, Robert Liefeld, he was comparing his prices to Jim
Yeah.
Lee's. Oh, but everybody gets on me. When he say something like, "You could put it, you could sing, you could say this in my sing-song voice
Mhm.
because you'll think I'm angry." But like I said, people were replying. I won't say the names because before when we did topic of the week, we would mention like, "Hey, we'll mention your names if you get picked." So I'll
Yeah.
just some people, and one guy, I'll just say his initials are BU, and he said that I think it's because his is just $65 for X-Men DC, and you charge more for anything Deadpool or X-Force related. Just seems like maybe you're nickel and diming your fans a little more. What do I know? I'm just a fan. How, just how it seems.
Well, I
And so,
mean, like Jim Lee's signature, I think was a flat rate just for signatures, but Rob's had 3 different ones
wow.
for more than that. I mean, if it was Deadpool or Cable specific, it cost more. If it was just regular, it didn't. It was ridiculous.
I wonder if anybody requests, can I just have a signature of Deadpool in Cable's feet?
Right. There were a lot of those comments too. So,
Yeah, and one, like I said, I'll just say the initials were BW, and someone said, "I hope this is another fake account and not a real one versus Jim Lee." And then somebody else responded to that with the initials JL, and they said, "Poor Rob gets hacked every time there's backlash. He insults everyone, then tries really hard to make everyone like him. He is so unstable."
like there
Yeah.
there was definitely defenders of Rob Liefeld, but for the majority, he was getting no compassion from most of the
Oh yeah.
people in
And
that
this we
post.
when the same guy jail when he was saying every time there's backlash, he insults everyone, then tries really hard to make everyone like him.
Yeah.
He is so unstable, it's sad. Do you see anyone else trying this hard to get people to like him? And then Rob Liefeld responded,
Oh, wow.
and he said to the person, he said, "Where are the insults you accuse me of? I'll wait." And the
Uh,
guy replied, "LOL, you have no clue. You call me a dinosaur for pointing out your cancellation. You said we all bend knees. You call people all kinds of names and insult them the minute they don't agree with you." Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of things I don't agree with you. He's like, dude, learn to chill. This is my comment, and you only know how to escalate. I'm not going back through every comment because I actually have better things to do than try to make everyone like me. Take the advice or don't, but do not act like you don't rage out every time someone comes for you. You wouldn't be here if you could let it go. And Rob responded, where is this said? And we even had a very own, I can't remember if I don't have a screenshot, but
Dan
our very own
Kelly.
Dan Kelly jumped on and
Yeah.
even said for him to, just learn how to draw feet.
So somebody did make uh not a legitimate comment, but they made a relevant comment, right? I can't remember who it was, but they said, when was the last time you were relevant? And Rob actually had a nice response to that. Well, not nice, but a good one, where he was like, I just put out 6 books this past month. I've got these monthlies that I'm working on. I'm contracted for these. What books have you put out?
He's
Well,
busy though.
yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, so I mean he is relevant in a sense where he's getting work. He's got Deadpool Batter Blood just came out. That's a popular book. I mean, his name does bring in readers. He does have his fans and all that stuff, but and I'm sure that there are instances where he can be a polite individual, as people posted pictures of such on that thread. But more often than not, you don't hear positive things about the man. You hear that he's incredibly egotistical, that he's very self-centered, that he is blind to the fact that his artwork is not on the comparison level of Jim
Jim
Lee
Lee,
or
yeah.
Mark Silvestri or Todd McFarlane or Jim Valentino, any of those guys. It may have been 30 years ago, but he has not he has not increased his style ever. Like, it's still the same. It hasn't gotten better. I think it's gotten progressively worse. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
The man should know that, but for whatever reason he
Captain
seems.
America.
Yeah, exactly. And all women have waists this thin, uh, and they're incredibly top heavy. It's a wonder how they can even stand. But it's just not good work. It's not good work. It's not pleasing to the eye. To some people it is, and that's cool. If you like white toast, that's fine. That's up to you.
I
But
think it's more quantity over quality. Like he does put out a lot. Like we said, he is busy, but if you're constantly putting stuff out, does it always mean it's the best stuff?
hang on a second. I'm going to show you what I think is the absolute worst Rob Liefeld image I have ever
Ooh.
seen in my life. Uh, Go ahead, Sonny, and give your feelings on this while I get this into the
Okay,
system.
well, when you get the yeah, but like we said, he is busy, but just constantly getting stuff out there doesn't always mean it's that good. Sometimes maybe wait and
It's
wait and you really
horrible.
work on something. For instance, remember we said when we reviewed Youngblood that I said in the beginning, I'm like, I think some of these characters are actually okay ideas to start with, but it was just too much, too many characters, too fast. And then the next issue was
Yeah.
so many more characters, so much where sometimes it's like slow down and focus on a few. And yeah, so
But see, he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to focus on anything because all he knows how to focus on is how ginormous his ego is. And it
yeah,
is really, I mean, it is that big, but where is that picture? I can't find it, but it
no
is
problem.
it is a Snake Eyes cover, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen. It's the red Snake Eyes outfit, and it is absolutely horrendous. I am looking for it and I cannot find it.
no problem. One thing also I will give Rob is he does give us a lot to talk and laugh about.
Well,
you know,
here's one I'm going to show you. This gives you an idea, guys. Hang on a second. This is incredibly terrible. It is not good at all.
and let's see that atrocity.
Oh yeah, give me just a moment here.
Yeah,
Live on
oh,
air, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
that's how it always happens. I did see something as you get that up there, a video on YouTube. I believe it was, yeah, it was on YouTube. It was about Rob and his story. And actually, in the beginning, he had some pretty humble beginnings, but
Right.
then as
Yeah.
time went on, money came along, business, and then it was pretty much, after he left Image to go back to Marvel and he got the money, and then it just
Yeah.
went
So
too
so I
much.
mean, he started
He's a
off
good.
as a tracer, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has done that, trace their favorite works and stuff like that. But I mean, when you get from that to this,
Oh,
that's
oh man,
bad. That's not good. That's not
it is. Yeah,
the
the
cover I'm
symmetry is
thinking.
very off.
Incredibly off. It is
Yeah,
horrible.
the
And
body
it
is way too big, no neck, very
no.
small arms. I mean, sometimes you do get people who are like that, but then yeah,
Well,
the arms are
yeah.
too small. The legs, yeah, it's
Look at the size of that right bicep. That thing is the size of a Volkswagen. That's
oh yeah,
horrible.
yeah. The symmetry is very off.
The point I'm trying to make, guys, is that he's not good. You can frame it any way you want to, but golden shit is still shit, and there's no way around that. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So would you compare that to some of Jim Lee's work?
Jim Lee, oh my god,
Yeah,
you could put them both up side by side. I think he even did that. Put up his version of Wolverine and Jim Lee's version of Wolverine, and said something along the line. Now, what was initially posted was a fake account,
yeah.
but
You
what
gossiper.
what he did say was like, I draw some of the best Wolverine there is. Most people can't draw better than me. But the picture he compared it to was Jim Lee Wolverine. That is pinnacle X-Men artwork. You can't
Yeah.
get better than that in the modern era. And for him to say that he's even comparable on that level is wrong.
Yeah, and for somebody who tries to defend himself and tries to be liked, a bit of advice: if you want to be liked, don't compare your Wolverine to Jim Lee's Wolverine.
Right, right. I shave my beard from time to time to emulate the power that Sonny has in his, but it will never be like that.
That's right. Don't challenge the beard. I put a lot of work into this. See, it comes all out, and then I
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
spit on the hands, put it back in.
Little bit of brute.
Yeah, give it a little bit of roughness to it.
There you go. Oh, that's enough about Rob.
Yeah. So it's been, but in some more rough news, unfortunately, there was the passing, like we said, of Keith Giffen,
Mhm.
the legend, and I said, yeah, I mentioned before, but he was the creative characters like Lobo and Rocket
Yep.
Raccoon, the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. But he's also worked on a lot of the Justice League of America, Justice League International, Justice League Europe.
Yeah.
He's done a lot, and one thing I thought was very interesting. So on October 8th, Keith had a stroke and he was in the hospital, and then he passed away on October 9th. But they say, according to his family, that Keith, he seems like someone who had a bit of a sense of humor, that he said for them to post online on his account. So this is posted, and we see somebody in the comments.
Oh, let me
Hello,
go check.
Barry.
Oh, hey, we know that name.
That's a winner right there.
That is a winner, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit.
Yes, we
But
will.
yes, he will be
Yeah,
missed. He will
yeah.
be.
He will. Keith will. Keith Giffen will be missed. And what he had his family post after he passed away was this on his account. It said, I told about New York Comic Con. I told them I was sick. Anything not to go to New York Comic Con. Thanks. Keith
Oh
Giffen,
my God.
1952 to 2023. And then the last words were, brah, ha, 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 ha.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So may Keith Giffen rest in peace. And what I see, quite a way to go, quite a bit of humor that he had to the end. I thought that was very nice for him
So,
to have his family put that up there.
a quote that I heard about him was, I think it was Mark Wade that said this when him and Keith had talked one time. And Keith was like, if you do something, do it well. So that way, when they need the best for it, they have to come to you, even if they don't want to. And he was right. I mean, his work with Lobo is iconic. His work in Justice League are wonderful reads. Dan Kelly can talk all day about that. I'm in the process of collecting all of Justice League America so I can read all of his run, his work on Justice League International and Justice League Europe. he put so much feeling into the work that he did. It's good stuff. It's amazing stuff, and the dude was and will always be a legacy writer and an artist, and just in general, the man was fantastic.
Yeah, and like I said, brought some of the he made some amazing characters too. Like I said, maybe even at the time, Rocket Raccoon wasn't so known when he was made. But look at that, he's become a huge character, like pretty much a household name. Like say Jamie, or excuse me, Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle just had a movie come out,
Yeah.
and then Lobo. It's only a matter of time before more and more people need to know him. People need to know Lobo. If they don't know him, you need to know the
Oh, they
main
will.
man.
It'll happen.
Yeah, and Keith has worked on a lot of work when I looked it up, and his work on Hero Squad or Hero
Mhm.
Squared pretty much launched Boom Studios. They pretty much got Boom going. And
Nice.
I saw Boom Studios posted like we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Keith Giffen. And he's worked on quite a few things. He worked on, something I like a lot, Exo Man of War. He's worked on Magnus, Robot Fighter, Punks, and Solar Man, Man of the Atom, or excuse me, Solar Man of the
He
Atom.
did a lot of work
He's
in
worked on
Valiant. Yeah.
yeah, he's worked on Wood God, All Star Comics, Drax the Destroyer, Heckler, Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, Suicide Squad. He's even done work with television. He even did some of the storyboards for some shows there. I'm trying to think of some of the
Yeah.
ones off the top of my head, but I know Ed and Eddie was one of the shows he
Oh,
actually
that's
worked on.
awesome.
So Keith Giffen, has made his mark in the world. He has made some legendary characters, worked on some legendary comic
Yeah,
books, and may Keith Giffen rest in peace.
absolutely.
And
Let's talk
now
about
we
some Daredevil. I'm
yes. Actually, one thing before I get on to
Oh, yeah.
DD Daredevil, one thing when I was reading this on Bleeding Cool, what they said, they talked to Dan Didio, who was a longtime friend of Keith Giffen, and that Dan Didio had said, having a hard time finding the right words. All I know is that Keith would be annoyed by this whole thing, but if anyone truly deserved praise and appreciation from the comic industry, it would be Keith. I
Yeah.
guess it's a good thing he's not here to hear it. So with that, we will stop mentioning it, and we will, like I said, move on to the man without fear, Daredevil, and that is that there's a new series set to come out, and that is Daredevil Black Armor, and the
Mhm.
writer is set to be D.G. Chester. The artists are set to be Natho Diaz and J.P. Mayer, and that'll be a four-part series called Daredevil Black Armor.
No, I
And
saw the cover artwork for that, and that was, Bagley artwork, was it
so they
not?
said some of the viewing covers, some of the covers will
Yeah.
be Mark Bagley. So there you
Oh,
go. See,
can't
you know
wait.
that.
Yep.
So he would be doing some of those, the special, some variant covers.
Nice.
And issue 1 of 4 will come out November 22nd.
Ooh, so not too far away.
Yeah, not too far.
I'm excited for it. The Black Armor was not popular in the 90s, but I love this resurgence of telling stories from the past, either to fill in gaps or to just add more flavor to the potatoes. I'm totally cool with that. It's nostalgic all the way, and I will spend my hard-earned money on that every single time. I
Nice.
like the old stories.
And it is set to take place during the events of the Fall from Grace story arc. Story
Even
arc.
better.
The one where he did have the black armor. So there we go. Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty cool. I had an action,
Yeah.
or technically still have the action figure somewhere in my shed. And yeah, of the Daredevil with the black armor. Back in the days when this action figures were like super skinny, and
Mhm.
nowadays they look so real. Everything can move on them. They have the face
You
recognition. Back in the day, skinny
you need to
figures you
get
can move up
all
and
of your
down.
figures out of the shed and bring them into the house. They're cold. They need sunlight and water. No, no, not sunlight, but they do need some water, a damp cloth, and bring them in.
I think I will. I may have to. Yeah, maybe from the vault action figures, and it may be quite a while,
I am
quite a long
down with
episode.
that. I've got plenty to show, so
What are you guys doing? Oh, we're just showing our toys to each other for a few hours, like normal cool
action
people do.
figures,
Yes,
not
our action
toys.
figures, and we don't want any kids touching them.
That's right.
My action figures are not to be played with.
My children know that if they touch my action figures, their life will flash before their eyes.
That is how you do it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, if I catch anybody in the shed trying to go for my stuff, I'm gonna assume they're trying to take my toys, my superheroes, my wrestlers, maybe my Paul Stanley toy. You know what? And then I'm gonna really put somebody in their
Look,
place.
you can take the hedge trimmer and the lawnmower all you want to, but that box right there, you leave it alone.
That is right. You do not take my Chapel action figure that has a glued on leg.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Good times with those action figures, man.
there you go.
We may have to have that from the vault sometime.
I'm
That would be
down. Let's do it.
that'll be a lot of fun.
Uncle
And
Gary's got a bunch of them too, so bring him on for that. He'd love it.
we need to have the whole day open for that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll have a lot to show.
Oh, yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say yeah. So we did say Daredevil Black Armor comes out November 22nd, and then we did talk about how the Marvel, how Marvel had fired the writers of the Daredevil Born Again series. Any thoughts on that?
So, yeah, so that's kind of a big deal. Like they were really pushing this whole thing that they had set up like it wasn't a it wasn't a continuation, but it was like a folding into the MCU kind of thing. But the stuff that had taken place before was kind of relevant. From what I understand, from where I read it, Feige had looked at the footage that had been filmed already and said that it was too far away from the Netflix series motif, like how it felt and all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, all of you are gone. We're gonna redo this.
Wow.
So, because I mean, the Netflix series was popular, it was really good. And also, what I understand is like the complete shift in direction that they're going with their television shows. They're going to have a showrunner, they're going to have specific writers that stay through the entire series. They're not looking to just do like one shot seasons. They're looking for multiple seasons. And I rumor mill, I read that they wanted more shows in the vein of Loki, as in like aesthetic and how they feel, where they are 7 episode motion pictures. Right. And love it or
Cool.
hate it, the She Hulk series was fantastic. It was great. Loki is amazing. Hawkeye was good. Captain
Yeah.
America and the Winter Soldier was all right. But when you stray from that, when you start to move away from that type of thing, it doesn't turn out well. It doesn't look good. People recognize a specific thing, right? And if you mix it up too much, they're not going to like it.
Yeah. Real quick, are you caught up to date on the Loki series season 2?
No, I have not. I'm gonna try and watch the it's 2 episodes that are out right now.
I think yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah,
I'm
something, yeah.
gonna do all my watching tomorrow.
I think I'm gonna wait till it's all out and then binge and pretty
There
much
you
go through
go.
like the whole thing in a week. Yeah. And I gotta get to watching She-Hulk. I haven't seen She-Hulk either. I'm
Dude,
very
it's
behind.
so good. It's so good.
Nice. And I know Werewolf by Night, which I actually saw Werewolf by Night.
Watch it in
They're
black and white first.
Yes, I watched
Oh, you
black and
okay.
white.
Okay,
So
good.
now they're coming out with the colorized version. So
Yeah.
so that was one that I was actually on top of it when it came out black and white. I watched it, and then now they're
I'm gonna
re-releasing it
watch
with
the
the color.
color version, but I like the noir
Yeah,
better. I think it fits more perfect, and they only had specific things that were colorized, and I thought that
yeah.
was great.
I thought it was really good because it was also different too.
Mhm.
That's the one complaint. People say, "Oh, it's Marvel's doing the same thing over and over," but Werewolf by Night was very different. It was
It
its
was
own.
awesome.
So I really loved the way that it was. I
Yeah,
hope
and
there's more.
Man-Thing was in it too.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
love the characters they used. I thought it was great the way it was.
yeah.
So.
Elsa
Yep.
Bloodstone, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, various other characters. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, so it was good. I hope there's more stuff
Mhm.
like it. And speaking of death and some older things, yeah, but the Jason Todd death,
Yeah.
maybe the alternate version. Like I said, so obviously the voting was does he live or does he die? And then the more votes, it was what is it, 72
Near
votes?
unanimous that he was to be murdered.
So it was picked that yeah, so Jason Todd died, but there was, they did plan for it to be both ways, if he dies, if he lives. So
Mhm.
now there was said to be a facsimile version coming out where you see the Batman issue number 428, but it's where Jason Todd lives, and that is set to come out on December 12th.
I am so curious to read that, like to see what they had planned, because that would have changed the whole course of the Batman title at that
Yeah,
time.
it was because it was one of the biggest deaths I think still in comics. I know obviously he came
Mhm.
back, Red Hood and everything, but still, it's one of those big moments in comic
That's how
books
you
where you always
bring a
remember him.
character back, though, is like his whole process going through the
Yeah,
Lazarus pit and all that stuff. Yes.
yeah, I thought the whole thing was terrific, and I
Yeah.
really like that story too. A death in the family. In the trade paperback, which I have, it shows at the end of it. It showed a few of the panels if he lived. So I wonder if it's going to be
Oh,
just that, or if it's going to be a full bit of a storyline with him living.
okay.
So it should be interesting.
Yeah, right on. I'm excited for that. That's something I'm gonna pick up, definitely.
Nice. There you go. A couple weeks before Christmas. So basically, we'll pretty much blink our eyes and it'll come out.
Yeah,
So time
exactly.
is flying by. And now that we've flown through the comic news, unless you have any last minute things to say about the Gargoyle series.
That's preliminary information at best right now.
Yeah, there's still a lot to figure out.
We've heard it before, and we flew too close to the sun and got burned. So I am being reserved as far as this goes. But with the showrunners that they have, or the writers, Sonny,
Yeah, the
they,
short. Yeah,
yeah,
very
having
good
to do
woman.
with very popular horror franchises, It and The Nun. If they throw that kind of business in there and are not afraid to be a little adult, I think it could be really, really good.
Yeah, it could be, and we hope. Who knows when it'll come out? Like I said, it is
Yeah,
very, very early in it, but if there are big updates on it, we'll keep everybody
yeah.
updated.
Oh yeah.
And now we go on to the New York Comic Con 2023, and there was a lot to talk about. Maybe we'll just get on to the crap that happened first. And that was that somebody pooped on the floor. And Tim, it was from one of your favorite sites, that Bleeding Cool, had mentioned it, and they mentioned, yeah, that somebody. They said the person did not take a picture, but it was in the lines to meet famous people, the autograph lines. It was spotted that there
You
was poop
just
on the
couldn't
floor.
wait.
They couldn't wait, and they were not going to leave the line, so they just
Wow.
pooped
You
in the
just
pants, let it fall,
shake your
rub off their
leg.
legs. Yeah, rub off the legs. Just leave it there for everybody else to see and smell.
Oh,
And yeah, very disgusting.
that's
And
wonderful.
yeah, the person, yeah, from Bleeding Cool was it they said. They're like, that there are a lot of incidences. There are incidences that have happened at other Comic Cons, and they're
Mm.
like, what should this one be called? Poogate, Buttman and Droppin', Plotverse, or just New York on a Friday? What do you expect?
All of the above.
Yeah, so there was some of the crap that happened at New York Comic Con, but also there was quite a few events. Like there was Marvel has a new crossover event that's going to take place next year, and that is Blood Hunt, and that is with a lot of vampires.
So
So,
they're gonna start pushing Blade.
yes, yeah, pushing Blade.
Yeah,
You
there it
know he's got to
is.
take a big,
And
a big
Elsa
moment.
Bloodstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of vampires and things that were announced, I will say DC had quite a few announcements there, and that one of them was that the DC Elseworlds imprint
Yes.
is having 6 other series coming out, and
So
what
I am incredibly excited about that. With the Elseworld series, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's DC's What If, and I mean they've been doing that with the black labels, but now to have a definitive spot for them to do Elseworlds titles. After they get through with the 5 Batman titles and the 1 Justice League title, then they can do some other characters. And I really want to see stuff like that. I love that they're coming back to other worlds like Gotham by Gaslight, but I want to see him come back to the Speeding Bullets world. I want to see more of that. And
that would be
just,
cool.
yeah, just the fact that they're reopening closed doors to old worlds is perfect. I can't wait.
Yeah, and some of those, well, actually all of them, the 6 that were announced were, like you said, Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age,
Yeah,
also Batman the Barbarian,
yeah,
Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter, Green Lantern Dark,
yeah.
also Batman Nightfire,
So
and
3
finally,
Batman specific.
but then finally one, as we were talking about, Marvel's going to have their run with some vampires with Blood Hunt.
Yeah.
One of the DC Elseworlds imprint will be DC versus Vampires World War V.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, and some are set to be 12 issues. Like I know the Gotham by Gaslight set to be 12. Quite a few of them are usually like 6 issues. The Green Lantern
Mhm.
one's 7, and then I believe
See, and
also
the
the
cool thing is
Vampires as
like
well.
By Gaslight was just one graphic
Yeah,
novel.
one graphic novel.
Uh,
Now it's 12 issues.
oh man, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so let's see. Like I said, all that stuff is set to be for next year in 2024. No
Yeah.
specific dates were given to when they will be released, though.
Maybe they will go back to Holy Terror and revisit some of that.
That would be interesting. I was thinking about that when we were seeing by Gaslight when you said Speeding Bullets.
Or what we're gonna review in the future, which is The Nail.
Yeah, well, the nail there is the nail, and then there is a sequel called Another Nail. So
Oh,
if they were to
okay.
go with number 3, but hey,
Wow, right on.
obviously if I have the nail and another nail, we can tell I like the story. So
Either way, it's gonna be awesome. It's awesome that they're doing this. It's awesome that they're revisiting old stories, and it opens the door for a whole heck of a lot.
yeah, and there were quite a few things. Yeah, like I said, announcement. I know like Invincible season 2 got a trailer. There
Mhm.
was for you Dragon Ball Z fans, Dragon Ball Z series, Dragon Ball Daima got what it was confirmed for fall of 2024.
Dragon Ball will never end.
No. Also, for the Invincible fans, Omni Man will be a video game. He will be a character in the Mortal Kombat 1 game.
Mhm. Yep.
So that was announced. The Monarch Legacy of Monsters got a trailer ahead
Mhm.
of its November premiere. There was quite a bit of Walking Dead news about the next, what's called The Ones Who Live, set to come out in February 2024.
Is that a
So,
show or a
yeah, so
comic
another
series?
another spin-off show for The
Oh,
Walking Dead.
is that the one where Daryl goes to Europe?
I did. You might. I'm not too sure. They were mentioning.
However, he
They
makes
were
his
saying
way
people
over
were
there.
announced. So I don't think this show will have Daryl in it. Maybe.
Well, there we go.
Maybe I've just caused a lot of people not to want to watch it since Daryl's not in it. But I don't know.
He's
I
not
don't.
in the comic books,
It doesn't
guys.
look like he's going to be in it. Yeah. Yeah. Read
Okay.
the comic books. There's plenty of those comic books.
Yeah, there you go.
Scout Pilgrim, his anime series that's set to
Mhm.
they hit a new trailer drop. Yeah. So quite a bit. And then
Nice.
one thing for you X-Men fans, this might be a little spoiler for everybody who is currently reading X-Men, but there was an announcement that Marvel has confirmed that it will end X-Men's Krakoa era in 2024.
Thank God, because I want to get back into some X-Men, but whatever's going on right now is too convoluted for me to even try.
Well, next year it's set to come to an end of the Krakoa era,
Good.
and then we'll see what else. Maybe can you imagine that, Tim, if you're all excited for it, and then it's like the new writer, Zeb Wells, with
Yeah.
artwork by Rob Liefeld.
Well, if Zeb Wells goes to write X-Men, I'll give the first storyline a try, but whatever he's doing on Spider-Man is not working. So
So who knows? They're like, hey, we heard about this guy trashing you and your Spider-Man run on this podcast, so we're gonna move you to X-Men once the Krakoa era is over.
fantastic. Get him off of Spider-Man. I can't cuss. Sorry, we're on the podcast.
But what were some things that got you excited about for New York?
Oh,
Comic Con?
Elseworlds. That was the big
Elseworlds
one
was
for
big.
me. Super excited about that. I did see the trailer for the Monarch TV series for Godzilla. That's the MonsterVerse that's going to be on Apple TV. That looks cool. Like the article that I read was like, how can they make it more about the people and only use an allotted amount of the budget to show the monsters? What they did worked, and the advanced reviews for the first 2 episodes have been really glowing reviews, which makes me excited because I love the MonsterVerse series. I've watched all the movies, watched it with my kids, and it's something that we actively enjoy. I love Godzilla. I grew up with Godzilla, and to see this, it's cool. I dig it. Elseworlds, though, obviously is the big one. The poop. I mean, whoever crapped on the
Oh yeah.
floor. Come on, guy. Come on. Just go to the bathroom first and then Get in line.
And maybe they have too much fiber in their diet and they
I
couldn't hold it
guess.
anymore. And they're like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm not going to miss out on this opportunity. I paid $250 to talk to Chris Evans for a couple minutes, and then
I'm gonna wait.
they let it go. They let it roll. And said everybody
Yeah.
else behind
I,
me just has to deal with it.
yep. There you go.
Just
But
step over my crap.
but yeah, that's pretty much what I was excited about. New York Comic Con and the Liefeld price debacle. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk about
Yeah.
that. And with that, do we say we have gone through quite a lot of news? And
I
we will
think
have
so.
definitely more news next week on next week's episode of the Codex Podcast. And now we move on to our works. We've had quite a few big things happen with the Code X station. One of them
Yes.
was that we did hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. So we had that huge giveaway. And yesterday, we had a special presentation where we finally had everybody from the Code X station was on
Yeah.
there. All 9 of us for the first time in
Yeah.
history. We had that. And Jamie did the spin. We saw who won all those great goodies. And it was a great man by the name of Barry Allen, aka the
That's
Keith.
right. This guy right here. That's not his comment in response to this. That's an older comment, but it's fitting. So, yeah, Barry Allen, Big Keith, you guys know him. Guys, the contest was at random, and it just so happened, as Jamie said, it all went full circle because Keith was the one that got Jamie into comics, if I remember right.
Yep, that is
And it's
right.
only fitting that for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway that he gets this massive bundle of stuff.
Hey,
So,
man who
Keith,
loves comic books. Yeah.
congratulations.
Congrats,
Yeah.
Big Keith. We're happy that you won. And like you said, Tim, as anybody could see, if you're wondering, on the video it shows it was online. It was just a
Yep.
spinner, so it wasn't like anybody personally doing it. It was just
Yeah.
online, and then
We had a
luckily a
lot of
draw.
people enter, which
I
was
was happy about
cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but fear not, for those of you that didn't win, more contests will be coming in the future when we hit other milestones and if we're just feeling really generous that week. But no, big thank you to everybody that entered. Big thank you to everybody that helped us get to 1,000.
Yes.
And we're working our way up. We've got a lot in store for you guys, as always. I know you hear that a lot when we talk about our works, but it is incredibly true. We all are working behind the scenes, making the shows that are on now better, and coming up with new ideas and just, yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait to show you what's coming in the future.
Yeah. Look at this notebook. Look at all these ideas I have. All this stuff. Look at all those ideas for Codex.
I have 3 books floating around, plus a yellow legal pad that has all Codex notes in it.
I write when I write notes, I can write very tiny. So I'm always thinking about people getting through my notes, and if they did find them, they'd probably be like, "Whoa, I could barely see that."
Well, I got my glasses on, so I'll be okay.
Or maybe it may still be pretty. I write pretty tiny when I write notes on top of notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 1,000 subscribers. Hey, let's shoot for now. Now that we've passed 1,000, we want more. So
Yes.
we can shoot for more, and let's shoot for the 2,500.
Jamie says 1,000,000. We will get there. There's no doubt about that. But until then, our next milestone, I think, is 1,500, and then 2,000, and so on and so forth. I don't think we're going to do a giveaway at 1,500, but I'm pretty confident we will when we hit 2,000.
And we will be celebrating all along the way.
Yep,
We
exactly.
hit 1,500. We hit 2,000. We hit
Yeah,
2,100. We hit 2,333.
there you go.
There you go.
I can give you a
Enjoy
live
yourself.
count of where we're at right now. If I remember right,
At 10:30.
10:30. No, I think we're right close to 10:40. Let me take a peek real quick.
And while Tim pulls that up, I should mention that I have another interview about
Ooh.
myself coming up, but this time I made it focus. I did a lot more talking about the Codex station, so I was glad. A lot of times I get interviews and they ask me about film stuff, but this time I make sure to talk quite a bit about the Codex station, so I'll be happy to share that when it is out. And I got that from, I was recommended somebody, a very kind person with the name Lestat Wilson recommended me. So thank
Nice.
you. You sound like a terrific person. Thank you, Lestat, for recommending that I be interviewed. What can I
Were
say?
they named after the character in Anne Rice's books?
All I'm gonna say is that I have the movie right over. Well, you can't see the shelf, but I have the movie over there, so it's just quite a coincidence that somebody with the
Wow.
cool name of Lestat, recommended that I be interviewed. So that's really
That's
cool.
that's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently at 1,039 subscribers. We need one more to get to 1,040. Help us do that.
Oh, you can do it.
There we
You,
go.
you right there can do it.
Yes.
And yeah, we have quite a few things from the Codex Station. Always coming
Mhm.
up, more episodes of everything, After Dark and Comic Character of the Week and the interviews. Like I said not too long ago, there was the Mike Grell interview.
Yeah.
Go check
Bob
that out. More,
McLeod.
yeah, and also more interviews coming up. So a bunch
Mhm.
of stuff coming up from the Codex Station, and obviously every week more episodes of the Codex podcast.
Yep.
And as we just mentioned, there was the special 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
Mhm.
So always more and more things and more reviews coming up from the Code X station. So
Yep.
check
Oh,
it
yeah.
out. Stay up to date. Follow us, like you said, everywhere, not just YouTube, but check us out, on Twitch and
Right
on
there.
yeah, on Instagram and on TikTok and on Facebook and
Mhm.
basically just everywhere. Just keep on following us.
Yes, exactly. We will lead you to the promised land of paper and staples.
Yeah. And now let us lead you to the F list.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, check out this super cool intro. If I can get to it, where is it? Only live.
Yeah, today, Fat Man joins the F list. There we go. If you look at him with the red shirt, the yellow shorts over it, a broom, a yellow bucket on his head, and what has he got for a cape? Looks like
uh,
a rug, the
like
green rug with
yeah.
yellow flowers on it.
Wow. Then there is this, which I'm sure
It's the
has
most,
some context.
yeah, it's the most recent one of him. Obviously, he's a little bit older. And he has a mustache, and he says, "I'll miss this place."
And
And there's
then
more. There he is with his man, Mr. America. It says it, Mr. America and Fat Man. Yes, you read it right.
wow. This one I'm sure has context.
Yeah, that's another Fat Man. There's been a few characters named Fat Man, but that's another interesting one that still deserves a place in the F list. And there he is. Look at that.
Fair enough.
And there's the main one.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. If we put that last one up there again,
Which one?
the last one you just had up there.
This one? Oops. There we go. Come on,
There, yep,
computer.
and there he is. He says, "Listen, though, people, if the All Star Squadron ever needs a replacement for Tex, feel free to call on the one and only Fat Man."
There
And
you
then we see that
go.
the character says, right. So, Tim, in our usual fashion, would you like to take a guess, stab at the history of Fat Man?
So, yeah. Uh Jackson Blade, otherwise known as Joe B, um, was a farmhand that loved his popcorn a little too much, a little too movie buttery, right? Um, and then one day he decided to he had had enough of the local kids in the town of 200 people stealing stuff from his farmland. So he put on the helmet, the rug from wherever, grabbed a broom, shoot him away, and Fat Man was born. Whether he is a hero or a vigilante, no one knows for sure. But wherever food is, he will be there.
And there we go. And we have food at the F list, so there we go. That's why he came.
Punch and pie.
So there you go, Tim. Robert Bob Daly is the
I was
name of
close.
Fat Man, and he is with Mr. America. And this one is surprising. This is pretty much the oldest F lister we have, and maybe he may forever be the oldest F lister because the first appearance of Fat Man was all the way back in Action Comics number 2. in
Wow.
July 1938. So there you go. Only one issue after Superman was the debut of Fat Man. There he is. Yeah. And this is from DC Fandom, some of the things I'm reading. And Robert Bob Daly was Tex Thompson's adventuring partner for many years. Tex Thompson, like I said, was Mr. America. And
Mhm.
after Tex Thompson donned the identity of Mr. America during WW2, Fat Man served as the sidekick under the costume. Well, I said Bob served as a sidekick under the costume alias Fat Man,
Hmm.
and also great assistants to Tex and Bob were not mentions others. Gargatua, T. Potts, and later Miss X, who was secretly the daughter of Tex's boss, D.A. Maloney. But we're talking about Fat Man. Get on to Fat Man again. But Fat Man, they said, yeah, so he was the sidekick, and he was in quite a few issues. And one thing about Fat Man is that also, yeah, so he said there's been multiple ones, there's been multiple names, but the Bob Daly one, the one with the yellow bucket, is the most known one. Then there is also the other one, uh, that was just there. The Earth One version was the Fat Man who looks like Batman. Well,
This
he
one.
has the Batman outfit on. Yeah, and a comedian who helped out Batman. He actually wasn't such a bad guy, and he used his jokes to kind of help out Batman. So obviously he's a joke, but he never tried to really be a superhero. Whereas the Bob Daly Batman, he stuck around for quite a few issues, and finally it was in the Justice League of America, the Golden Age. I didn't want to read too much. So I was starting to read about this, and it's when
Mhm.
these characters are older, including Bob Daly, Fat Man, and so that's the picture where he has the mustache and he looks a bit older. There he is, and when I was starting to read, it seems like maybe Bob Daly, Fat Man, has redeemed himself with the
Hmm.
sacrifice. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to read too much. I'm like, I don't want to spoil stories. I don't know. He seems like he may redeem himself in the story of the Justice League of America, Justice Society,
Okay.
excuse me, Justice Society of America, the Golden Age, and yeah. So Fat Man, like I said, he sidekick. He always does his best to be a hero. He's not one of the villains. He doesn't have any special powers, but he tries his best. And I don't know what made him wear that outfit. There's no mention of why he put on a yellow bucket, the red shirt. Well, we know most of the superheroes back then were wearing pants and shorts or
Right.
shorts over pants. So back in the day, that probably wasn't thought of as too bad. But the carpet, I do wonder where he got that from. The rug, the green
His
rug, the
his
flower.
mother's hallway.
Most likely that's a good. He just was like, "How can I be a superhero?" He turned to his left and he
I don't
read,
care what you do, Bob. Just be home by the time the porch light comes on.
"Sure, ma," and he puts on he just takes the yellow bucket, the rug, and then he says, "Ma, what should be my weapon?" And she says, "Here, use this broom." She tries to shoo him away with the broomstick, and then he viciously grabs the broomstick from her.
Oh my God.
That'd be a nice story. Who knows? Maybe Tim, we will have to write him an origin story.
Sure, done. Let's do it.
Nice. There we go. But yes, that would be fun. But yeah. So Bob Daly, Fat Man, I said a sidekick to Mr. America
Mhm.
back, like I said, all the way back in the 1930s, and then obviously over the years was not mentioned until Justice Society of America, the Golden Age. So Tim, what do you think? Do you think Fat Man can ever get out of the F list?
Well, I have never heard of him before, but what you said about him in that JSA story gives me hope. So, yes, I think he can.
Tim, I agree. Like I said, first I was just like, oh man, look at this character. But when I read about him, especially when I was reading a bit about the Justice Society of America, I'm like, okay, if he does, since it's a story with those characters, those older character, or yeah, their older characters are now actually older,
Mhm.
and it seems even in the picture, he kind of just seems like a regular man. I mean, yeah, he's quite a memorable mustache, but
Yeah.
he seems like maybe he's relaxed and it seems like somebody who's always wanted to be a hero. And maybe I'm sure he's done some heroic things being the sidekick to Mr. America.
Mhm.
I think Fat Man Bob Daly does redeem himself in that story, and I think that he can make it out of the F list. But his outfit will forever remain in the F list.
I can get behind that. I agree with that. Got to change the clothes, dude. But
Yeah.
beyond that, yes, I think he can get out of the F list.
And there we go. A nice. Not too many times do we say characters can get out of the F list, but Bob Daly does.
I think this is the first time, or we
Maybe the
may have
first time we
said it.
both agreed. I think once
Yeah.
in a while you maybe said one, once in a while I've said one, once in a while Jamie, but this is
Well,
the
I know
first
you
time
guys said
we
like
both agreed.
Eraserhead,
I
or
didn't agree. Jamie said he can get out. I said I don't think he's ever getting out. Even if he makes it in new comic books as a because the
yeah,
character of Eraser, the Eraser, has continued on. Like the how to put it, somebody else
yeah,
has donned
yeah.
the suit, but I'm like, no, whoever puts on that suit, you find your place right in the F list with
I
your
think
pencil outfit.
I think my favorite one we've done so far is Armless Tiger Man or whatever
Oh,
his
he
name
was
was.
bad.
That was great. Like, okay, all right, cool.
But Tim, one last minute thing, not too long
Mhm.
ago, I got a mail call. So
Ooh,
this is it's mail call for an F lister, and I got this, Tim.
wait a minute,
Justice League of America.
not me. That.
There we go. The Justice League of America, number 26, and there he is, the Brown Bomber.
Oh my God! I cannot believe you got that.
I do. I got it. I had to get it when I saw it. The Brown Bomber is one of those characters who will never leave the F list. So I made sure
Wow,
to get to get the issue of Justice League that he was in. Yeah. And now
that's.
also I'm on the hunt for that Justice Society of America, the Golden Age. I've been looking for it.
I'm curious about that. You'll have to let me know what the title is so I can keep an eye out for it.
Well, that one's Justice Society of America, the Golden Age.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 or 4 issues, but it's a
Okay.
story, and I'm on the hunt for it. Who knows? Maybe I'll even do a review of it,
Ooh.
or maybe I'll pick it for us to review. Who
Hey, right
knows?
on. I'm down for that too.
Yeah, but that will bring us to the end of this episode of the Codex Podcast. And on our next episode, we should be reviewing The Dark Design.
I
Perfect
think
for
that's
Halloween.
yes, right in time for Halloween.
Right in time, we will go to. Well, we won't go, but some of the characters we'll be reading about will go to hell to fight the son of Mephisto, and that is Blackheart. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting one to review with you guys. And then the following week should be the Justice League, the Nail.
Yes,
So we
which
got a
I'm
lot.
excited about.
Yeah, so we've got a lot ahead of us for us at the Code X podcast. And now Tim can do all the usual business before we send everybody on their way.
All
Do the
right.
business that I don't like to do.
Right on. I love doing this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us tonight and allowing us into your homes. It is absolutely amazing and fantastic. We love doing this every single day, and we love the fact that you enjoy watching this too. With that being said, please find us on all the socials, your favorite social media platform, and where we're live streaming right now. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that is where you will find us. Once again, your favorite social media platforms, and where we live stream every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to find us on our website also. If you want to know more about Codex, all you got to do is go to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. There it is. It's sitting right over there. Once again, thecodexstation.com, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and throw out a big thank you to the sponsor of our show. That is Dubby Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, go over to dubby.gg so you can save 10% on your order using keyword code -X at checkout. Wonderful energy drink. We've all had it here. We all love it. We're very thankful that they support us. And that's why we have that keyword for you. Keyword code -X. Use that at checkout to save 10%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know the world is going to hell in a handbasket right now. And sometimes you need to separate yourself from that. You need to turn the TV off, and you need to turn the phone off, and you need to not talk about world events or politics or anything like that. And you just need to sit down and you need to read some comic books.
That's a good
Escape
one you got right
reality.
there.
Yeah, escape reality for a little while. Don't be afraid to go out and literally smell the roses, right? I know it's crazy. I know it can be really scary with what's going on right now. Watch this show, watch about comic books. Just separate yourself from it for a little while so that way you can breathe, you can settle down, and you can relax. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim. This guy over here is Sunny. This is the Codex Podcast. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.
Make sure to use the bathroom before you go out and you smell those roses. I can only look at those roses, but yeah, make sure you
Uh,
use the bathroom, everybody.
you could stand there like someone did at New York Comic Con and take a big fat dookie on the floor.
Yeah, leave all that poop behind and enjoy yourself and try to spread love and peace and have
And not
fun. Like I said, like Tim said, sometimes just relax, take a moment for yourself, read, watch something, have a good time. But like I said, also make sure you use the bathroom and don't embarrass yourself like that person at Comic Con.
we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen.